Hey everybody! Well, I've got a new project started, and it's just a little project, but I bought some plants. So I got a cocoa palm, actually two coconut palms. Let me show you the other one over here. There's a second coconut palm right here, and a triple Christmas palm, which is a Palma Carpus here. We're Douglas and Esperanza, and we decided to leave our lives in the US and move to magical Loreto, Mexico, where we built our boutique resort Pufferfish Villas from the ground up and work running it and saving to expand in the future. Please come with us to follow our journey and live before you die. So the Christmas palm is a palm that does not get super big and it doesn't grow super fast, and it's one of my favorite palms. I don't know if a coconut palm or Christmas palm is my favorite, but anyways, I went to the store. They had a really good deal on this triple Christmas palm, and you don't see triple Christmas palms, there's three of them there, too often. In fact, I've never seen one growing down here. I've seen them on the internet, a triple Christmas palm, but never one growing down here. So I saw that one. They had a really good price. I got all three of these palms for I think about $40. So it was a really good price. We are going to plant these palms up here where our house is going to go. So you can see that our little patios are up here, the hidden bungalows up there in the garage. And so I am standing right in the middle of what will be, well, actually, I'm probably standing in the pool right now when this finally gets done, because we're going to build a U-shaped house that's going to start over here and then go all the way around. So my idea was, instead of waiting later and then having to buy full-grown huge palm trees that are really expensive, we paid like $500 a tree just to move and replant those big trees. That's when they were free. And then if somebody wants to sell them, they might want another $500 just for the tree. So it can get pretty expensive to move and plant full-size trees. But we've got a lot of time. We aren't going to build a house maybe for 6, 8, 10 years. And so I can buy $10 palm trees, plant them now, and 10 years from now, they're going to be a full-grown, 15, 20 foot palm tree. So since I've got time and I've got the space, I'm going to plant a few of the trees now that are going to be in our patio area around the pool, and then I'll have those all ready to go when we go to build the house. Now, I can't go too crazy, or if I get too many trees in here, it's going to be difficult for them to get in here with big equipment to build the house. So I keep that in mind. We are going to place these trees so they're going to be around the pool area. And there's going to be one coconut here, which is going to be right on the side of the pool. This is going to be the side of the pool. So this coconut's going to grow up on the side of the pool. There's also going to be another coconut over here that I painted the dot for it. Where did it go? I think it's over here under this. Anyways, I might have to remeasure that out. But there's another coconut palm right about here that we are going to plant, and that's going to be right on the front corner of the pool, which is going to sit right in this area. And then that triple Christmas palm is going to go right where that stake is. And so the problem we had is the Christmas palm doesn't grow very big, and we don't want the base buried way under the ground when we've put in the house. And so the house is going to be, you can see that the level of the house is about 2 feet above this level. And so this entire area will have to be filled about 2 feet before we build the house. So that's not a big problem because you can't build on sand. So they're going to have to put in fill dirt to build anyways. Normally you put in about a 4-foot deep platform of compacted subgrade a road base that they use to fill and compact before you build. And so this is gonna have to come in and be filled anyways. But I didn't want that triple palm to be planted 2 feet below the grade, so that then when I put in the patio around it, it's 2 feet under the ground. And so what I did is bring in subgrade, which is the same material that they will be bringing in when they get ready to make the pad for the house. And I am going to fill in this corner where that triple palm is gonna go, so that then I can plant the triple palm at the level of the patio, and so it won't be under grade when this whole thing gets finished. Now, this coconut palm will also be up at grade because it's going to be planted in the fill. This coconut palm, I'm just going to plant at this level. And so when we do fill in, that's going to be about 2 feet below grade. That won't really matter because when you transplant coconut palms, you actually take them and plant about the bottom 5 or 6 feet of the trunk goes underground when you transplant them, because you have to have a solid base. So they do just fine when you bury the trunk under a little bit. So all that'll do is just make this a little bit far, not as tall when you fill 2 feet of grade around it, and it should be totally fine. So now I got this subgrade delivered this morning. Super easy. I just called my guy, JR, told him I needed 10 yards of the subgrade material. Said 30 minutes it'll be there, 30 minutes it's here. Cost me 350 pesos a meter squared, so it wasn't 10 yards, it's 10 meters squared, which is actually more than 10 yards. It's probably 11, I don't know, I have to do it up, but 11 or 12 yards of material. And I paid 3,500 pesos for it, which is about $160 for basically a dump truck load of this subgrade material. And got it here in 30 minutes, perfect. So super easy, get it here. Now I had him spread it. He did a good job of kind of spreading it out a little bit, because I'm gonna put it back up and just extend this pad out. And so that was the plan, and then extend it out and go around here. I'm gonna leave this open so we can still drive through here. So I've got a lot of dirt moving work to do, and I'm gonna do it all by hand. I don't wanna pay, I could pay to get a backhoe in here, but honestly, you have to pay for usually 2 hours, and it's last time I got a backhoe, it's under 800 pesos an hour with an operator, so 40 bucks an hour with an operator delivered. So that's actually a pretty good price, because they bring the machine here, and then for a 2 hour minimum, which is $80, they'll do 2 hours worth of work and leave, and it costs you $80, and they provide the operator. So it's pretty good. A lot less than you would even rent a machine in the US, and I could call up and have one here in a half an hour to do this, but I don't want to go to all that work and pay $80. I'll just do this by hand. I need a workout anyways. I mean, it's a lot of dirt to move around, but I can do it. I'm gonna go to work with a shovel and start getting this big pile spread out. All right, I got this entire pile of dirt here all leveled out. Well, kind of leveled out, but the main point was to get this corner here leveled out where that stake is right there, so that's where the plant is going to go. So there's a lot of work. Do that all by hand, but got it done. Now I'm going to wet it down really good, and then I'm going to take the Forerunner over there and run it over it a whole bunch to compact it down and try to get it compacted a little bit. Now it'll be fine for when we build, because once this sits here for 8 or 10 years, it will get compacted by whatever rains happen, and by just being there for that long, it will compact quite a bit. And then they'll recompact it before they start construction. So I'll just do a little bit of compacting right now, so
can get the air pockets out and get it settled.
All right, I got my pad done right here and got my Christmas palm here all set up about where it's going to be. So you can see that this would have been really low down if I would have planted it at this ground level, and then we filled all up to put the patio in and everything around the house. So that's why I needed to raise this all up so I can plant this up at this level. So that's all ready to go. Now I just need to dig in there and make a hole. I already have the hole going here for this coconut. That's gonna go right here. And my other hole got totally covered up. So I'm going to have to measure it again because it is somewhere around in here, but it disappeared when I got the dirt delivered. So no problem. We'll remeasure for that hole, and then I'll put that last coconut palm up there in, and then we'll be good to go. All right, let's get this thing planted. All the plants here come with this basically black plastic pot, and it works pretty well. Don't want to lose all the soil around there. All right. Now we'll get this kind of adjusted. Get this good soil back in here. All right. So, next step is I'm gonna put a little bit of chemical fertilizer at the bottom level. Now I did have some compost, but I got that about a year ago and it's been sitting in the sun for a year now, and all the microbes and all the good stuff in it are gonna be dead. So it's not really useful. Don't have any more. So I'm going to use chemical fertilizer specifically for palms. Then I have some soil that I mixed up, half and half. Get this just a little bit this way. There, that's perfect. And this is the half sandy soil and half of this subgrade, which is a dirt and rock material that comes from the mountains up here. Okay. And we'll water this in halfway. And then I'll put another layer, a small layer of fertilizer. Now I like to put the fertilizer at the bottom around and at the mid-level around, so it's right where the roots will get to it. If you just put it on the top, then it's reliant on watering it down into the ground. And so when I'm planting, I always put it at the bottom and then about halfway in the top. Now I don't want to put too much in here because I don't want to burn the roots, but I haven't had really a problem with that ever, so. And this soil has a lot of sand in it. The sand definitely has some salt in it, but for trees, especially palm trees, salt that comes from the ocean is actually a really good additive. In fact, a lot of times people will put Epsom salt in, use it to on palm trees when they're starting to get green or get yellow, to help them green back up because they need some salt. So a little bit of salt in the soil will be good. You'll see that there's actually some shells and other stuff in this soil because we're so close to the beach here. Okay. Might get a little bit more soil in there, but not a lot. And this is just on the top, so, and one of my palm fronds got broken because of the wind we had here. And then the rest of this dirt, I'll build a little moat around this so that it will hold water. And then watering it will be more efficient. I'll spray this down one more time with the shower this time. Lock this moat, this little berm around it in place. Give it a good watering. And there we go. That is good to go. Should set in because it was in a pot. That's the one thing about transplanting a bare root tree as opposed to something in a pot. Something in a pot, you have much less shock on the plant because the roots don't get exposed. If you can keep the dirt on them, it protects them. So this should do fantastic. In fact, all these should. So let's do the coconut next. I won't show you, make you go through planting the coconuts, but only difference with the coconuts is coconuts love sand. They don't need any of this dirt soil in there. I mean, they grow on the beach, way down like at the water line. So they don't really need any dirt or soil. They love the sand, they love the salt. So the coconut will get planted right with the sandy soil only. So I'll plant those and then we'll show you how it turned out. Thought I'd show you what a coconut palm looks like when it's small. You can see here the coconut, the full coconut with the palm growing out of it. And that's really kind of cool. And then the roots start growing down out of the bottom of the coconut. And this is really cool. You actually get to see a coconut growing a new coconut tree. Awesome. I wanted to show you all these palms. I have had them planted now for about a month. You can see there's not much die off. They're still nice and green. Have one palm frond here that's grayed, but that's on the outside. The triple palm is doing good. Now this palm, this cocoa may look a little strange because it's slanted. Now that's not a mistake and it's not a problem. I planted it like that. The idea is the pool is gonna be right here. And if you've ever seen coconut palms, like in nature on the beach, a lot of times they will tilt over as they're growing because they're growing in the sand, and then they get this awesome curve coming up when they grow. So to get this one started early, get it curving like this, that way it'll be nice and strong and it will curve right out over the pool. And this will be an awesome effect when you're looking out at the pool and you have this coconut palm curving up right over the edge of the pool. I think it's going to be a really cool effect. So as you can see, a month later, these palms are doing fantastic. They're still all green and nice. That doesn't happen when you move a palm that's a full-grown palm, or you bare root a palm where you dig it out of the ground, you cut all the roots out, and you only leave a little bit of the roots and you move it. You know, we have had these really pretty good luck in the past moving palms. Almost all the palms we have here were free and were moved here by me, but we have a ton. We've probably moved 20 Mexican fan palms. They're all through here. Out of, in fact, I think probably closer to 30 Mexican fan palms I have moved over here. I think we've lost 2 out of 30. So that's pretty good results on Mexican fan palms. We moved 6 big coconut palms down here. So far we have had very good luck on coconut palms, not lost a single one. The last one that we moved is not doing very well. That was just a couple months ago. You probably saw in one of the videos. I still have hope. We'll wait and see, but that one may not do as well. Now that one was moved by hand and it was huge. So they had to cut off so much of the roots and so much of the dirt that I think that might have been what happened to it. You know, all the other big trees were moved with heavy equipment. So they were able to keep a decent amount of the roots and the dirt with them. But we'll see how that goes, and we'll figure that out after that. We've also moved Christmas palms like this one. I've moved quite a few down at the villas. And those, I haven't lost a single Christmas palm before moving those bare root. Now date palms, a palma de til, those have not done too well in my moving. We moved 1, 2, 3, 4. We moved 4 here when we moved. They were big ones. And out of 4 that were moved, 3 of them died. They were really big, but they did not do well in the move. But there is a silver lining to the date palms, and that is when we move them, the dirt that came with them had a lot of seeds in it. And those seeds ended up sprouting new date palms where the ones were that died and had to be taken out. So right here where I had a big date palm that died, I now have 3 new date palms growing, and those will do fantastic because once they start growing naturally, they're going to do fantastic. The same goes over here where I had a date palm that I moved and it died. In fact, this is number 5 one that died. So I only got 1 out of 5. And this one also had seeds in the ground that ended up growing after the date palm died. So I got some free date palms that grew from the seeds. So that's kind of a silver lining for those palms. I also moved a what's called a ponytail palm or elephant's foot palm here. These tend to do really good. I've moved this actually twice and I don't expect to have any problems with that because I've moved these before too when we were up in San Diego, and they move pretty well. So I hope you enjoyed this episode and getting to see a little bit of our pre-planning. You know, the whole point of this is that if you think ahead, and we've got a lot of time, so we could spend a little bit of money now, and 8 or 10 years from now when we build our house, have some big, beautiful trees that cost us almost nothing. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and never forget to live before you die.